coming. I guess real simple, I think that I'm the right candidate at the right time in the history of Oshawa. I'm ready and qualified to work with the commercial stakeholders in our ward, and I'm more than qualified to ask the tough questions that maybe others don't like to ask, like where did our clinic go from the downtown? Why is it in Whitby? Why are all the services that are required here but no clinic? I don't care. I'll ask the tough questions. I think that's what has to happen at this point in our history. It's time to downsize what's going on in our downtown with the social assistance programs. I'm not saying we don't need them. I'm just saying we shouldn't be the ones to carry the load for the entire region. It's just not going to work. It's not sustainable. It's becoming too costly on the taxpayer. And it's a very tough situation for those who reside in the area. I spoke to a lot of people, some bad experiences during the open doors when I tried to enter some of the places, one being Simple Street South Church, and people out and out using drugs on this porch. I mean, you can't have this. It's got to stop. And I'm ready to take that task on. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that answer. Mr. Kerr, your 2-minute closing statement, please.
Yes, thank you. At the front of the hall, you'll see my election postcard, and my byline is community, culture, and communication. So in order, in terms of community, Mission United is the gold standard of a social services hub. It's recognized by the province, it's recognized by the region, but it's in the wrong place. Been working with the executive director of Mission United, and there are 2 locations we're looking at with the region that we can move Mission United out of the downtown so that all segments of the downtown community can begin to enjoy their existence downtown. It should be maintained, it just should be moved. And I think that's one of the biggest changes in community for our downtown. The second thing is to do with culture. To do with culture, I've already mentioned the ACE Hub. What I didn't mention was my development personally of the Cycle Hope and the Cycle Courage, which involve over 50 different artists in developing new works of art to promote our arts community. We also have a burgeoning sports community. I've been on the Oshawa Sports Hall of Fame for 8 years. We need to preserve our sports history, but also my pet project for this term of council was the BMX bike park. That was mine from the get-go. We worked hard with the cycling community and city staff to bring the BMX bike park online. The last piece is communication. Communication department at the city has been advancing and improving in the 4 years that I've been regional and city, and before that as a city councillor. It involves all media, and I get back to people with results. When people say they're going to make themselves available, I'll make myself available. Please check out my election website, electoratecur.ca. They have audio tapes to describe all of this stuff. And lastly, I guess what I can say is, have a good evening, folks. I'm happy to chat with anybody once this is all over. Take care.
Thank you for that answer. Just before we proceed with Mr. Sanders, just a quick point of clarification that's been pointed out to me. As much as I appreciate everyone acknowledging the Oshawa Chamber of Commerce tonight, this is not our event in any way. I'm just here as a citizen to help the Downtown Oshawa Business Alliance make their event happen. So it's not a chamber event, and our team is very small, and we couldn't produce one of these in every ward. We are producing a televised mayoral debate tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. live on Rogers and live on rogerstelevision.com or rogerstv.com. It will be replayed, so that's something that we're making happen. But everything that's happening tonight is thanks to the work of DOBA. So I just wanted quick disambiguation around that. Thank you, and sorry for the disruption. Mr. Sanders, your 2-minute summary, please, sir.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Anyhow, thank you. I want to thank DOBA for inviting me tonight. I think it's important. There's a lot of good ideas here, and there's a lot of people that we look forward up on the stage. I'm glad that Mr. Kerr said he was part of the BMX park, Because the day I drove by there was ambulances there. So I don't know how much problems there's going to be there for the city and liability over that BMX park. But anyhow, those ambulances were picking up children off those jumps. Anyhow, I'm just going to talk because I'm going to be part of the regional council. So we need to have a discussion of the police again. Like we used to have a person when I was on local council, John Parkinson. And he was the officer that looked after the downtown core, so we could get a lot of things accomplished there. But we need the police to come down here. We need them not on, like I said before, not on the corners. We need them in the alleys. We need them to stop these people that are laying down. We don't need a security company with dogs or anything like that. We need to make sure that the businesses can operate. And when we get issues from the businesses on some of the activities that are occurring down here, they need to be addressed right away. Because as you fester and you have a person that's homeless and they get comfortable where their surroundings are, they keep going to the same location. They keep going back there, and then you'll see their pillows there and you'll see cardboard there. And we used to do a cleanup in the downtown, and some of you have been part of those cleanups we did. And we had needles we'd pick up, and we had condoms we'd pick up, and we had so many garbage bags that we'd pick up. And it's like people have no respect to walk to a garbage container and put their garbage in a garbage facility. I just think we can do better. We are residents of the city of Oshawa. It is in a growth right now, and with everything that's going on, having the homeless just makes the downtown core look bad. And it shouldn't make this look bad because we have social workers that should be working with them. We set up an ambulance for Noxifum so that they can get, if there's an overdose, they can get it administered. But they all need
time.
help.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the summary. Mr. Thompson, your 2-minute summary for us, please.
Running to be your counselor, not a social worker. Safety, security, and well-being for Ward 4. Elect. And defeat our current councillor, because he hasn't done anything for Oshawa in the last 4 years. No more free needles for handouts in downtown core. Again, I want to remind you that I care. The homeless can get a meal, a Durham outlet for the needy, and persons with addictions can get help at First Light and the Foundation of Hope. I'm the only candidate that has a plan. Cops on blocks. Okay? I got a plan. There's an aim. And at the end of the aim, there'll be a result. We want to make it safe because of all this development that's coming. And like I talked earlier, communication to Ward 4 in the city. One other thing I want to talk about is our great firefighters. And with all these new condos being built, I will be promoting, and this is forward thinking, that we purchase a new Bronte Skylift 70-meter aerial platform for fighting fires in high rises if that ever happens. And we're going to have that, so we're going to have all this development and these new buildings going up. And then just in closing, I want you to really consider getting out and voting, dragging your neighbor with you. We had about 24% of the people come out last time, and that's not acceptable. We need to get everybody out to vote, whether you vote for me or not. I'd like you to vote for me. And elect Dave Thompson for Ward 4 City Council. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that answer. Mr. Boutrianis, your 2-minute summary, please.
Safety and security. I have been told that pickup and release has been happening much too often. It's as though there's no law against petty crimes in downtown Oshawa. I was very upset to hear so many citizens who already know that there's a sense of lawlessness down here. I heard it at the doors. And so I try to action things. I'm just not just listening and sitting on my hands. So I called the Crown Attorney's office and I explained to her, is there a liaison? Is there an escalation path where we can impact the judiciary? Because what is happening is that when our police do what they're supposed to do, when our security do what they're supposed to do, and arrest and process someone, protect their rights, and they do it right, and they put it in front of the judge and they get released. Pickup and release is no good. Pickup and release allows repeat offenders to come back onto the street. And that's no good. We have to find a solution. But that solution is not going to be solved by 1 or 2 people or 1 or 2 counselors. We need everybody. We need your voice. I need your voice more than anything. Whoever is elected here needs your voice. so that we collectively say, this is not jurisprudence. This is not what the judiciary should be doing. I remember saying to the clerk who called me back from the Crown Attorney's office, I remember saying to her that it seems to me that the judiciary is putting itself in disrepute as far as the downtown petty crime is concerned. And that petty crime spreads. People breaking into cars, girls getting hit in the face because they didn't give out free coffee. Another fellow telling me I had to move somebody out of the way just to get into the bank. This is not what downtown is supposed to be like. We have a wonderful downtown. It's cute, it's small, it's quaint, but it has to be clear. I have to agree with Mr. Dave Thompson and his cop block. I think that's a good start, but we need also the judiciary to be on notice that we're expecting them to do more when they adjudicate petty crimes. That's a very important thing for safety and security. I think also...
That's time, sir. Thank you very much for that.
James Lutriano's Ward 4, thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Davis, 2 minutes, please.
My name is Jeff Davis. I'm running for the position of Regional and City Councilor, Ward 4. I'll be the first name on your ballot in that section. I'm running against Mr. Kerr and Mr. Saunders. Mr. Kerr just told you that he has a pet project. That's going to be the BMX park. You know, we had a BMX park for 2 decades prior to that. It was a private venture, community built. But once Mr. Kerr heard about that one, the city went in with bulldozers and bulldozed it. You, the taxpayers, turned around and spent millions of dollars to replace it in phase 1. And you're going to spend more millions on phase 2. That's not what we need. That's not responsible governance. We need somebody on council who's going to be watching your tax dollars rather than spending your tax dollars. This current council has spent more of our reserves than they've put in. Far more of our reserves. Those reserves are like the savings account that you have in your household, so that if your roof leaks, you have the money to replace it. The reserves that the city used to have were to help fund things like fire halls, parks, recreation, new equipment. We've lost that money. How are we going to get that money to pay those bills in the future? This council has told us that we're going to have to come after your pocketbooks in the future. And that's not right. And we need to change that. You need somebody that's going to represent you, who will keep this council accountable and transparent. We want you to know what's going on. We want you to know what the decisions are that we're making, when we're making them, why, and how much it's going to cost you and when. Jeff Davis, Regional and City Councilor. Thank you.
Thank you for that answer. Mr. Eismont.
Thank you. And thank you for all the residents and businesses that came out tonight. Really appreciate it. A strong local economy needs a healthy, vibrant downtown core, period. The number of DBOIA and Oshawa Chamber City Economic Development Office will all have goals that they want to establish for the downtown in the coming years. But I want to make sure that we accelerate the renewal of the downtown core, continue to recruit investors, entrepreneurs, and residents while keeping the folks that are currently residing downtown happy. Make downtown clean, safe, and attractive as well. We want criminal action punished by the police and upheld by the courts. We want this in concert with the decentralization of services to other areas of Oshawa and to neighboring communities in Durham region. We have and always will show compassion, but we are at our limit of capacity right now. We can't deal with it anymore. Oshawa residents can't shoulder the burden of some of the issues we're facing. We need help at the regional, provincial, and federal level to address these concerns, and we'll make sure that's done in the next 4 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that answer. Mr. Giberson, your 2-minute summary, please.
Thank you. Thank you to the organizers tonight. Thank you for everyone for being here. Back in August, I was in Ottawa attending the Association of Municipalities of Ontario's annual conference, and it was actually speak at a session specifically on some of the issues that we also face here in Oshawa. Tuesday night, I had some free time, decided to take a walk downtown Ottawa. It's a beautiful place to go for a walk. And I observed something while I was down there. When I was in the Byward Market, and some of you might be familiar with it, there were two things that jumped out at me. One of them was that I was seeing homeless people and people with mental health and addictions. You know, since that's the white elephant in the room, the big elephant in the room tonight, I actually saw more there than I saw here. What else did I see? My second observation that I was seeing when I was there was that it was, even on a Tuesday night, it was absolutely vibrant. If you were to ask me what's the number one problem we have in downtown Oshawa, now I don't have a number one solution, but my opinion, what is our number one problem in downtown Oshawa? We have a narrative problem. If a complete stranger walked into this room tonight, sat and listened to all of the commentary coming off of the stage, they would be saying, oh my God, this place sounds terrifying. And yet all of you came here after dark, you parked your cars, maybe you walked here, maybe you took the bus here. You didn't stay home, you came here. I think that we have a narrative problem. Maybe that's what needs to change here. In the last 4 years, and including through the pandemic, we've seen a net increase in restaurant establishments. We've seen a net increase in food retail, regular retail. We've seen a net increase in professional health services. We've seen, we're going to see a net increase in residential units in this downtown. The only net decrease we've seen is office space, which has been common during the pandemic all around the world. I think we need to start talking about the narrative problem. I live here. It's my neighborhood. I've been doing the work, and I'm here to continue doing the work, on or off council. Thank you again.
Thank you very much for that answer, and indeed, thank you to all the candidates for your time here tonight, for the sacrifice of time and effort by yourselves and your families. We know it's not a trivial endeavor to run for office, so no matter who the winner is, thank you for all the work that you've put into it so far. Thank you to all the attendees tonight. I'm going to turn it back over to the host with the most here, Dominic Albus, the chairman of the Downtown Oshawa Business Alliance.
First, I'd like to thank the moderator. Can we get a round of applause for the moderator? He did a great job. As well as Craig, thank you for keeping time. As well as all the candidates, thank you for coming out. I know you guys have very busy schedules, so thank you. We really appreciate that. And the audience, and as well the staff of the Biltmore Theatre, thank you for coming in tonight on a Monday and helping us out with this. So hopefully everyone enjoyed themselves. We got some information. Thank you and have a good night.